Welcome to the world of stand-up.
Okay, we're doing this.
Again, here we are.
Welcome to stand-up again, Amie.
Yep.
And Taboo. We decided this was going to be the crossover event of the century.
I love, by the way, being on stand-up while we sit down. It's my favorite.
That's a good clip right there. I
Sitting-
love being
sitting
on stand-up
down.
while we sit down.
So we're sitting down to talk about stand-up.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about stand-up. It's just
That's
what
true.
it's called.
We don't talk about, so today I was standing in the grocery
We can
store.
talk about stand-up. Like, we watched our buddy Andrew Schultz's special last night. That was dope.
So good. Yeah. So funny.
So funny, man. I love watching This is funny. You say we're not going to talk about stand-up. Now we're going to talk about stand-up. I love watching high-level comedians. They
Same.
are awesome. They make
When
me
you get
feel
that guttural
like
belly
a
laugh.
child.
Oh. Yeah.
So...
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. We're on stand-up.
You and I have had always such a fun banter, and we hadn't produced an episode of Taboo for a while. And I was like, dude, this is like when, this right here is like when, Dylan from Beverly Hills 90210 like went to Melrose Place for a day or whatever. Like it's both of them. It's
right. It's both.
Crossover. Yeah.
So if this podcast had pronouns, it would be a his, hers.
I guess, yeah.
'Cause it's yours and mine.
That's something in that world that confuses me.
Yeah.
I understand the whole non-binary, the they, them thing. I can, in a linear, intellectual way, like, okay. But the his, her, like my pronouns are his, her.
I'm a him, her, a they, them.
What?
I'm a they, she.
Yeah, that's another one. Like it's a she, but they.
Yeah, anyway. You're welcome.
Hey, what are you doing? Anyway. Life's good. We had some funny things we could talk about. So
Yeah. We recently had our oldest turned 21, and we're the cool parents.
we are the cool parents.
So we said, we're going to take you to Vegas and show you how to do shit the fun way.
Yeah.
And I need to remind
So in all
him.
fairness, we took him during the week.
I also need to remind him that the way that we do Vegas is not how he's going to experience it on his own, because he was staying at a nice resort and we're paying for,
Dude, we
a
went
$300
high-end.
and
Dude, our dinner was $600 for the steak.
right. So it's like when you go, it's probably going to be more like you're staying at the circus because you can't afford it with you and 4 of your buddies sharing a room.
They're going to be at the MGM Grand, playing penny slots.
Right. But yeah, we took our son and we did all the fun, adulterous, naughty things.
We did not do
You're right,
adulterous
not
things.
adulterous. That's the wrong word. We're looking.
No, it's a
what's the
word. It just
This
doesn't
is
mean
not
what
the
you
right
say.
word. The right word is when you're doing naughty things. What is it? It'll come to me.
Scandalous, maybe? No, it was debaucherous.
Debaucherous.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Which we really didn't. Let's
Kinda,
be real. We were kind of mellow.
we
We got
started
drunk.
out. We took him to a topless pool,
the European
pretty
pool.
fun.
That was awesome.
and I had to keep reminding him, hey, 2 things: don't stare right at them, and blink. Don't make it noticeable that you're staring at a woman's boobs.
I felt like we should have had titty bingo cards because we saw
Oh my
so many
gosh.
different kind of tits.
All of them, pierced ones, large ones,
We
small
saw
ones,
bee
all
stings.
nipples.
Is that even a woman? There was a flat chest with a nipple that was supposedly a breast on
Mine
somebody's
were not out, by the
gyno
way,
chart.
just to make sure that we're not weird parents. Kept mine
That would
away.
be, hey son, check out mom's tits. That sounds awesome. You ain't seen these since you were freaking a year old or however. You didn't even breastfeed him, did you?
For a week, it didn't work. I was like, oh, this isn't for me.
Yeah, so he's rare. He's never seen really.
No. Yeah. So we did that. We took him to the largest cannabis store there.
Yeah, that was
And
awesome.
just watch. I really
Shout out
think
to
that
Planet 13.
I really think that he thought that we were buying drugs from just a random guy that was like, oh, here's your shit and go, And we go in there and there's just tables and displays of all the things. And the guy that was helping us is telling him, oh yeah, there's all these different smokes, terpenes, CBDs, just blowing his mind at the different levels of how to use the medicine.
Yeah.
And then when we were done shopping, you can go back into the building and it's like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory of.
Yeah, you see how it's made.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really fun. So we got him a little day stone that day.
Dude, that was the funniest thing ever because our son he's quite subdued most of the time.
He's super introverted is what he is.
If you met him, you'd think he was like on the spectrum because he's kind of weird
Our
sometimes.
therapist keeps telling us he's probably on the spectrum.
He's got a little Asperger's, yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine. He's a high functioning person. Like he works out. He does all the things.
He's very disciplined, dude.
He's so disciplined. Like
it's impressive.
I was really
actually.
worried that we were going to get him a little too messed up because the system is so clean. Like he
measures his fucking food all the time.
He weighs his food out.
Yeah.
He's by the book with how his schedule is. Like he goes to bed at this certain time. He brushes his teeth. He gets up and he'll blow his nose. And then like I can map out his day just because of how just robotic he is. He'll always put his lunch he'll make it at night because he doesn't want to get up in the morning and deal with that. So he makes his lunch at night and he'll put it on the same spot in the counter or in the fridge.
Yep.
And almost every night Bryce is like, I should take a bite of that sandwich.
There's a few times where I wanted to.
I'm always like, no, because his head will fucking explode.
Yeah.
Like that would totally trigger him. But yeah, so he's just a super clean, super like scheduled.
He actually he loosened up a lot when we were in Vegas. It was funny because the first stone that he got, he wasn't even that much, like a 5 milligram gummy or something.
We started at 5 and he wasn't feeling anything. And so we were at the pool and we were sitting outside. And I think that he had like a little bit of a drink. Remember, we had all those margaritas.
Oh, right.
And he's like, I don't think I'm feeling it. So we gave him another 5. And then within a half hour, we're sitting there at the pool and I'm having a conversation. And I can hear my son standing behind me just giggling.
Okay, so we got to tell that story like it's hilarious because it involves a recurring character of the stories we tell about people. We have our friend.
We have a friend that she's a lot of fun, but
she's the best, but she is a fucking hot mess.
She's a hot mess.
And she has no filter and no boundaries.
And it just so happened that she was in Vegas the same time we were celebrating her 1-month anniversary.
With her new dude.
Yes.
Which this guy is a boss. I fucking love this guy.
Right. So she was like, oh my gosh, you guys are in Vegas. We're in Vegas. Come over to the Cosmopolitan. We rented a cabana for the day. So I'm like, oh my God, that'd be great. Let's do it. So we all load up the car. There's 4 of us, 2 of them. If you're good at math, that's 6 total, right? So we get there.
Checks out.
Good. Thanks for fact checking. Thumbs up by Brandon too. We're all good. So we get there and it's not a cabana. It's just 2 day loungers with an umbrella.
Yeah.
There's no way we're all 6 of us are going to sit.
Which is fine. Like we had no.
It was fine. We had the water, but it's like
cabana,
we're a bunch of white people. We were expecting a little more shade. That's all.
And they had the umbrellas closed because it was windy.
Well, no, they started open and we're getting drunk and everything's setting in, and then the wind picks up. And by the way, we get there and our friend and her guy were already hammered.
3 sheets, dude. He was gone.
They already had 3 pitchers of margaritas to themselves before we got there. And I don't know if you drink in Vegas, but it's not like drinking in Utah. Like they free pour that shit. Like it's half and half. Like it's intense. So they're already wasted. She orders another round of alcohol for everybody. So we're having a good time. And then, of course, it's like 110 degrees or something and windy. And so the cabana boy guys come around and start taking all the umbrellas away. And her dude is like kind of passed out in the sun or in the shade because he's just so fried already. And they're taking the umbrellas away. They're like, it's a high wind effect. We got to take them down.
So now that you've shared that, we got to talk about what made Dorian laugh. Because this woman and her beau, they're new. And this guy's obviously learning how if you don't push back against her, she will fucking walk all over you. Like she's got a very strong personality. And
she's just bossing him around. She's like, oh, we're ordering food. We're ordering this. I'm pretty sure this guy spent close to $1,000 just at the pool in food and liquor. Like
alone, yeah.
Like those pitchers were $150 a piece, like just piling up food, you know?
Yeah. And
they didn't touch
Dorian's
the food.
Like laying in the pool, looking at it, just starting to giggle, watching this unfold. And like, is this real? And
so here's where he started to giggle. So Jay was in the bathroom doing some, sorry, I just said her name. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
She doesn't listen to podcasts. And if she does, fuck it. She'll be like, you're right. I was fucking crazy. Anyway, she's in the bathroom, and I'm sitting here talking to her guy who is just like hammered. I'm like, listen, I'm going to do you a solid, dude. Jay is the kind of person that will walk all over you unless you reel her in. You need to set boundaries or else she's not going to stop. He's like, oh my God, so thank you so much for saying that. Like, I really adore her, but she just wants to keep going. I need a little break, you know? And I'm like, well, you got to tell her. You can't just be silent because she's going to keep doing it, you know? So she comes back from the bathroom. She's like, babe, I just ordered us another pitcher. And he's like, no, we really don't need that. And she's like, well, I'm getting it. He's like, Jay, please don't. We don't need any more alcohol. And I pipe in. I'm like, we're only here for another half hour, Jay. We got dinner reservations. We don't need any more liquor. She's like, no, I'm ordering it. And he said to her, look, if you order another pitcher of liquor, I'm done. We're done. And that's when Dorian starts cracking up. He's dying.
Like he's doing shoulder shrug.
Full body
like
laughing.
Like
and
just...
Jay goes, you don't fucking mean that. And like hit...
That's when Dorian lost his shit.
He lost his shit. Because then her dude was like, okay, you know, reels. Okay, we'll get another pitcher. Totally just went back. And she was like, you're fine. We're going to be fine. We're here till 6. We paid for this lounge till 6. And it's only, what, 2:30?
Yeah.
And they're already hammered drunk. And the sun is blaring. And we're all already feeling the heat. And he's like dying because now there's no shade. There's nowhere to escape it. I'm like, Jay, you're dating a white dude. Like, he needs shade. We need to rest. She's like, no. I have 3 more outfits to get through.
She had fucking...
What the fuck?
Costume
She
changes,
wasn't
dude.
kidding. So she went to the bathroom again, changed her bikini, came back out. She's like, hey, you know. And again, my son, he can't even formulate words. He's just laughing hysterically.
From the weed.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he's feeling it. He's in it. Like, he had never... I was telling Bryce, I'm like, I feel like he has been holding in 21 years of laughter until this moment. Because for even the car ride home, he was still laughing uncontrollably. Yeah. Like, just couldn't stop. It was the funniest thing to experience. But he was just like, this is real life. Like, people function this way, you know? So we get back to our hotel, and our buddy that came with us, Colby, they went and ordered pizza and all the things. And, of course, my son's eating this pizza like, it's like orgasmic, you know, because
I've never known food to taste this good.
Yeah. So he's just experiencing,
godly genius cooked this.
He's just experiencing a whole new level of
He never really got
sensations.
like alcohol, but he didn't drink a ton of alcohol. Like we went.
No, he got buzzed.
Oh, that was right.
Night.
So that night we went to the cigar bar.
So we slept it off. We had like a little power nap, and we had dinner. We went to a really nice steakhouse, the SW there in the Wynn. And then we hung out at the cigar bar, but we were taking shots. And he took, I don't know, 4 or 5 shots. And when you're in a clean system like that, like, I'm like, he's going to feel this shit. And he was just pounding them like it was nothing. I'm like, you're sure you've never done this before? Like, you're not lying about that? He's like, no, never.
He has no reason to lie to us.
We're very open.
Yeah.
So he got a little buzz there, and, you know, it was just fun. It was fun.
It was cool for me as his stepdad, because our history together has been somewhat sordid. Mm-hmm. I never really fully felt accepted by him. It was like I was in the house and stuff, but like, there's actually been a lot of like problems that have happened between you and I because of like just his indifference about things, or perceived indifference, I should say. Because he'd walk into a room, he just was weird. He wouldn't talk, like very unfriendly to our daughter, like all this stuff, and it got to where, you know, and you and I even talked about this in therapy, where it's like, I feel like a stranger in my own home sometimes, because this fucking kid comes walking in like he owns the fucking joint.
Yeah, we would have massive parties. Like, there could be 10 people standing in the kitchen, and he would come in and not notice anybody. He wouldn't make eye contact. Yeah. He wouldn't say what's up. He would literally just, like, it's blinders, you know? Yeah. He's just, I'm just doing me. That's what he would say.
Me. Every time we bring it up, dude, like, hey, can you, like, acknowledge some people?
Yeah.
Just doing me, man.
I'm like, you know that you can do life with you and other people. Like, it's all the same. Like, you can open yourself up and still do you, but be nice. Right. Acknowledge that there are people around you.
The good part is that he's never been a troublemaker. Like he got in that once. It was in my comedy act that is a true story where he like vandalized that car with that stupid bitch.
Yeah, he quit his job, and the day they quit,
he got fired.
No, they quit. They quit their job, and how they got quit is him and his girlfriend were told by their boss that, like, you guys are going to go clean all the trash up along the fence of the grocery store because, you know, wind was just blowing trash around. Right. So him and his girlfriend had to go do it, and they gathered 2-3 bags of trash and then dumped it on the manager's car. And these 2 idiots left a note letting him know who did it and said, "We quit." And the next day, we had cops come to our house. Yeah, slow clap by Brandon. Yeah, I know, right? We had cops show up looking for him.
That's a 19-year-old mind that's never gotten a piece of pussy yet.
Yep. Yeah.
Boobs.
So that was really the only thing he's done that was like questionable behavior. You know, he's a good kid. He's just a little on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But since then, he's been great. Like, he's, we've been home and, like, he's just, like, I was recently on a trip by myself and he was calling me and texting me, making sure I'm doing good. And he was cooking dinner for you guys while I was gone.
He, opened up. It's been the son I always wanted.
It's like something was shook loose inside him, and now he's just a little more expressive. And he came home from his dad's over the weekend. He's like, yeah, I took another gummy. And, like, I think that, like, cannabis is going to be more his vibe than alcohol.
Well, he's your kid. So
yeah.
there's that.
And, I may or may not have smoked quite a bit when I was pregnant just because I was 19 and didn't give a shit. I'm like, I'm sure he's fine. Maybe that's what's wrong with him. It's coming full circle. It's all making sense.
Nailed it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a good kid, but it was fun. That was a fun, like, adventure to just a nice experience that we were able to, like, be there for, like, his step into, like, the adult scene.
Yeah.
I'd love to take him to an actual bar, like a club, see if he would actually, like, make a move. Or, oh, my God.
You're not going to hit on anybody.
No. Well, I'm hoping, like, he's 21. Like, he's talking about moving out, which is a good step, Yeah. We've made jokes about that, like, so are you ever going to get the fuck out?
Yeah.
And now he's like, yeah, because he has buddies that are coming home from school or Mormon missions or whatever. And yeah, so he's growing up. A baby's growing up.
Growing up.
Yeah.
That was cool to experience that. Yeah, we do Vegas different. He's not going to have that experience if he's not with us.
Yeah, no. It's going to be a lot different. But it's all good. Like, he'll have a good time, whatever he does. Now that he kind of knows to ease into it. And
yeah. Well, you're the queen of that, dude. Like, because I never tried weed until I was deep into my 30s.
Yeah.
And
you didn't even alcohol.
Alcohol was when I was 31. First time I ever got drunk was at 31. Mm-hmm. And it was an emotional drunk because, like, I was at the time I had been excommunicated from the Mormon church when I got divorced. And back then I gave a shit to want to be a member again. And so I kept trying to, like, go back to the bishop and, like, work through stuff. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was getting closer to being able to be back. And he's like, oh, we got to talk to your ex-wife about this thing now. And it, like, just threw me over the edge. I'm like, my relationship with Jesus Christ is contingent on this bitch? Like, that's not how the gospel works, man. And so you had Cavassier in the house cooking Cavassier.
Yeah.
And so I just I added it into some Coke Classic. Dude, and I went on, like, a bender, man. Like, not really, but I remember I went to the liquor store and I bought all the alcohols then. I bought all the flavored rums and tried whiskeys and vodkas. And, like, I was like, I guess I'm drinking now.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I remember that. And I remember the first time that you got high, and it was my goal to make sure that wasn't our son's experience.
Oh, dude, it was so fucked.
You thought you were going to die.
I did, dude. I thought I was going to die. Your fucking friend.
Edibles are not trustworthy.
No, homemade edibles, dude. Like, that's the thing is he had those stupid muffins, man. And, like.
Well, but he did say, look, start with half. What did you do? Ate all of yours and then
hold on.
Half of mine.
Hold on. Okay. In fairness, okay, my cannabis journey was not like normal people's. At least I didn't think so at the time. I've learned that this is an experience that everybody has had. The first time I ever smoked it, didn't get high.
Yeah. Well, it's because you don't know how to do it properly. People don't inhale.
Hold on.
I'm just clarifying for the people.
I know, but you're not honoring the experience. I inhaled. I coughed my ass off when I did it the first time. It was in one of those piece of shit little pipes that you had a little thumb thing for the side. And I took a hit, didn't feel anything, took another hit, didn't feel anything.
The thing is called a carb, by the way.
It's a carb,
for the
okay.
people.
So then I'm like, I guess that doesn't work. So I gave it another shot a couple months later. Similar thing. Didn't work. I smoked 5 times. Mm-hmm. Didn't get high. So I started to develop this sort of hubris. Like, I guess my system doesn't mesh with weed or cannabis or whatever the fuck we're calling it. And I guess I'm a superhero. I guess that's not going to ever affect me. Right. So then your buddy and your friend and his your friend and her guy, boyfriend, husband, whatever, was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get this dude high," and I was like, "Bring it on, bro." You can't. My body doesn't affect that shit. So we tried a water bong.
Shit on edibles,
dude.
Never.
Hold on, but he was like, we did this water bong. It was still all flour stuff.
Oh yeah, the water bong. So we
in the
filled
sink.
our sink with water, and we used one of those like 3-liter bottles. There's that big
The
fucking
2-liter bottle we cut off, and it didn't work.
It was massive.
And then he's like, I guess we're doing this. And he'd made butter out of weed and made these muffins. Now, just for context, think about that. 6 times, nothing. My attitude and arrogance was through the roof, man. I'm like, fuck off, dude. This weed is bullshit. And he cut half of this thing. I ended up eating a muffin and a half of edible. And when I did it, he looked at me like Chong looked at Cheech in Cheech and Chong after he like swallowed all this stuff where he's like, like he was,
You're in for a real treat.
I got like the shaky leg shit, dude. Like I was so stoned.
Dude, he was laying in bed like, I really think I'm going to die.
I'm right here. You can talk about me.
I
like
think
I'm
I'm
right
going to die. And I'm like, you're not going to die. You're going to be fine. I even had to show him this YouTube video of like this cop who had like taken like drugs. He took weed that he had confiscated, and they ended up calling 911 saying, I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Because they had taken too many edibles. I'm like, I promise you, in the history of forever, nobody has ever overdosed as far as like
Dude, I was
dying.
freaking out. I wanted you to take me to the hospital.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
remember.
we are not fucking doing that. You're going to ride it out. How long did it take you?
I slept for 18 hours, dude. Slept for 18 hours.
Yeah.
I was so over it, dude.
And not only that, it totally messed my high up. It was such a bad experience for me because I'm like, fuck, I got my husband here acting like he's going to die. So I'm like not enjoying my own experience. That was a bummer.
Sorry to have ruined your high.
Yeah.
While I was dancing with the devil.
You were knocking on the devil's door. That's your own problem.
Any rational person would hear that story and realize, I get it. 6 times, didn't do anything. Why the fuck would I have any sort of like caution?
This was also back when like weed was like you had to buy it from a rando down the street.
It was probably
like,
some Reggie weed that we had that never got me high.
Weed
in the first
now,
place.
no way, man. That shit'll one hit and you're
Strong as
done.
fuck,
yeah. So it was a long time ago, but that was still one of I just will always remember that experience with you. Oh fuck, I'm gonna take a muffin and a half. I'm fine.
Well, dude, now even like my tolerance is huge. I mean, I've been in the Century Club. I've taken 100 milligrams of an edible at one time. I usually average 40 to 50, and I started doing way less. Like one of my clients actually runs a grow operation at a dispensary out of California, and like we hooked it up to where we could get a goodie bag from him. And like I've been taking these small 5 to 10 milligram edibles, and they're just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to blast the system.
Right.
Because, dude, you turn into a zombie. Like everything feels better when you're on weed, including your taste buds. And your taste buds actually feel pain if you don't give them something to taste. So
this is something we talk about every night. There's edibles involved. My husband's always like, I can see taste.
I'm right here.
So what?
You're saying my husband is right.
Okay. Every time you.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see taste.
It's like you turn into Ellen from The Hangover and you're like seeing all these like formulas.
Dude, I've never played
food.
blackjack high. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
That's one thing he gambled a little bit. We didn't really do a lot of gambling with him.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is like ever since I got a little bit of money, like I don't gamble.
Yeah.
When I was broke, I was throwing it down all the time.
Yeah. He's going to Mesquite with his dad, so maybe he'll take him gambling. That's just not my thing either. I'm too emotional to gamble. I don't like it. It's not fun for me.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I remember there would be times where like I would go to a table and I'd, do really good, and then you'd be in a good mood. And then I'd lose a bunch and you'd be pissed off.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I'm like, that's like a purse that you just lost. I could have spent that money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun though.
Yep.
So how was you just got back from Scottsdale. How was that?
Yep. I just went on a girls' trip to a women's event, and it was awesome. Like drama, because with women, there is drama.
Hold on. There's drama with women? Yeah. Ooh, tell me more.
It's all that estrogen, man. Something about that shit. It really messes with us. But we have one of the she's a friend of mine, but she also works for like the company doing the event, and she was a hot mess. Like, left her husband on Sunday, came to the event on Monday. Like, and she's one of those, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of these things, ex-Mormon. I'm sure you guys can paint the rest of the picture yourself. Doing all the things. She's smoking, she's drinking. She was drunk almost the whole time. And she was one of those sloppy ones where she's just telling everybody what's going on. Yeah. Like, we're in this event with people that she works with, and she's just outing her relationship. And I'm like, oh, this is ugly.
Yeah, that's...
So she was super...
I hate that feeling when you get drunk and then you spill your guts and then you're like, oh, fuck, did I really say that?
Yeah.
I wonder how she's doing with that.
Well, and the whole time we're there, she's trying to get her boss to fuck her. Like, she has so the...
You don't have to give too much info.
I'm not going to, but like they're all really fit people. They're all in the fitness industry, and so...
They're hot, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, she kept being like, your arms are so hot. Like, she was just flirting heavily with him. And he's from England, so it's like we were having drinks at a cigar bar, kind of chatting it up. And my friend leans over and he's like, hey, so are you going to get it in with my friend? And he's like, I don't know what you mean. And the girl goes, she wants to know if you're going to fuck me. And he's like, yeah, I'll fuck you. I don't care. I'm going home to England in a few days. Like, no strings attached. Yeah, I'll fuck you. But she's like, oh, I couldn't do that. I need emotion behind it. I need to feel connected to you. He's like, oh, that's not going to happen in 4 days, lady. Like, but it was funny. Like, the whole time she's just all over this guy while still being married. Like, just a hot mess. She's drunk almost the whole time, putting herself out there just like, well, and her boss, the boss, so there goes the top, her boss, her, right? The top boss took them all out to dinner, and he's like, look, guys, you guys are here representing me and my company. Can you just be mindful of that? Maybe watch your behavior. You're surrounded by people
Maybe cage your kitty.
Put your cat away. Just kind of saying, watch what you're doing. Like, people are watching, Yeah. I don't think she picked up on the fact that he was talking to her because he wasn't like, hey, you. But we all kind of put it together.
Okay. See, here, don't want to have people fucking each other, okay? It's bad for business, okay?
Well, so we have like another, like we're in a mastermind, if you will, I guess. And like the head guy has this saying where he's like, don't come on the spider web. And it's basically like, if you're in a network of people, those people should be off limits.
Yeah.
Because if shit goes south, it's just going to make it weird. You don't want to create that situation for anybody. So
that's a really cool concept that he talks about, like the idea of a spider web. Obviously, don't come on the spider web's great advice, and it's funny in a way because like I just envision some dude like come on a spider web, but like you think about your network, it's like has all these little points and like spider webs out and fuck it up. It's gonna fuck everything up.
Yep. So I was just reminding her that I'm like, girl, you're about to come on the spider web, and it's gonna cause problems.
She's like, so I'm gonna come. This is awesome.
She's like, oh my God, I'm all in. I haven't come in like years. What is that? What does that feel like?
Coming, is that something that
like we're going somewhere or?
I spent a lot of time alone while you were away. I was trying to figure out some of my own shit.
Yeah,
it worked.
You got into nature.
I did twice. Went to both of the canyons, Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon. Spent the night up in Little Cottonwood Canyon.
I was in Scottsdale. One of your clients calls it Satan's asshole. Beth calls it that. She's like, it was hotter than Satan's asshole. I'm like, girl, I want to live in Satan. And I was like, girl, I want to live in Satan's asshole. I love that temperature. I'm trying to get there.
Remember, you've changed so much because back when my folks used to live there, you're like, fuck this place. It's so hot. Now you're like,
well, it's still hot as balls, but I mean, I've just learned that like hot as asshole, Satan's asshole specifically. But I've just learned that like you stay indoors. And then when you're outside at night, it's 100 degrees and perfect.
You sound like my dad when he was telling us. It's just like Utah. In Utah, in the wintertime, when it's cold, you just stay inside.
Right. But we'll go out at night, and nightlife there is epic. Like,
it's cool.
Hands down, the coolest night scene I've ever experienced.
Even better than Vegas?
Yeah. So there's this hotel there called the W, and right next to it is this street, and it's just lined with bars. and all the doors are open and you can see into them. It's like a massive block party. And there's just like thousands of people. The road's totally closed off. And they're just walking up and down the street. Music's blaring. It's like the biggest party I'd ever experienced. And then come to find out, all of these bars are open 24 hours. So there's not like here where it's open from 4 to 1 in the morning. Or what time do bars open here? 5, 6?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's limited. Whereas like there, it's open. And so we flew out on a Sunday, and our Uber guy was like, "Oh, you guys are leaving on the best day. Like we call it Sunday Fun Day here because the bars in the morning and afternoon is when it's like lit, like it's hopping." He's like, "The bars in the afternoon is the best here." And I've never been to a bar in the middle of the day like that. So I'm like, we got to go back and hit up Sunday Fun Day.
Let's give it a shot. That sounds
fun. Sweat out all over the alcohol.
Well, you don't have to be a lush there. You can just have a drink or two. And
yeah,
good,
that's true. That's kind of what I do. I'm not a super heavy drinker. I like to keep my wits about me. I don't like it when everybody's getting sloppy, and that's kind of what happens, like I think when you're out past like midnight, you're more into like the sloppier scene,
Right.
Girls' clothes are falling off. They're not wearing their shoes anymore. Dudes are
the girls' clothes falling off part. That's bad?
No, I'm just saying that's
okay.
It's when you start to get a little sloppy.
A little sloppy. Okay.
Yeah. And then you're like, why don't I have my bra? What bar did I leave that at?
I hate when that happens to me.
I know. I'm like, fucking, why wear bras? That's weird.
Or panties. We already talked about that on Taboo, I guess this is Taboo. This is a stand-up Taboo collab.
It's hers.
This is the Melrose Place meets Beverly Hills 90210 show. It's pretty fantastic.
Yep.
So what else do you want to talk about, babe?
Oh, let's talk about sex, baby.
You want to talk about sex?
No. I don't know.
We have current events. If you want to do that, we could transition.
What's current?
What do we got, buddy?
Well, speaking of current, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, after 2 decades, are officially married now.
They're married?
They're married now?
They got married,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that for them.
Yes.
Bennifer?
Stupidest name ever.
Well, they couldn't go with like
They could
Jen.
call him Ben and Jen.
You're right, but the whole thing is to blend the name, and you can't blend Ben and Jen because what are you going to get?
Look at Jen. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to blend the name.
Okay. Well,
This is like a celebrity thing, and it's fucking stupid.
I'm stoked for them.
I'm stoked for them, too, but we're going to talk about the name thing for a second because that's more entertaining, because who gives a shit about 2 celebrities that have fucked each other a bunch?
But it's the second time, though. Like, they called it off once. She made that whole album and, like, dedicated, 2 or 3 songs to him. There's even a song that's called Ben.
Yeah.
I think that's great. That, a decade later? Was it a decade?
2 decades.
2.
How many dudes?
Holy shit.
How many dudes did she plow through in that time?
Well, fuck.
Exactly.
A-Rod was one of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to work. I was like, what's wrong with him? I heard this story that A-Rod, I think you told me this or somebody, that when A-Rod was dating and he was still
He had a care package he would give to
he
every
would
bitch.
send all the women away with care packages.
Yep.
Just go in my garage and pick some shit and then get the fuck out.
It wasn't like it was an actual basket that had gift cards and purses and shit in it.
That's
And
bizarre.
he would have those lined up in his garage. And it was like, if I was some bitch and I was like, what the This is an assembly line of pussy in this
maybe
place?
based on how good your pussy was, it starts really basic gifts and then it gets up to you get a car.
You get the canvas Louis Vuitton bag
Yeah.
instead of the full leather. Because that shit needs to be wetter.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Your
that's
blowjob
good.
game sucks, woman. You're getting the Nordstrom gift card instead of the Chanel one.
Hey, some girls are just doing it for an Instagram post now.
Yeah,
so at least
they're-
they got purses.
They're doing it to get pregnant. They're like, hey, I can maybe have A-Red's baby and get rich off that shit.
Dude? I gotta say that is that level of hubris is legendary.
Yeah.
Your A-Rod, dude. He had. I don't know if he still does. There was a time when he had the largest contract in Major League Baseball history. It was $300 million or something, a ridiculous number.
Wow.
And he wasn't even that beloved in baseball. He just was really, really good. People didn't like him. He was kind of a prick.
Well, I'm stoked for that.
People were mad at him for the steroids thing.
Yeah, I get that, but fuck, everybody cheats. Just cheat better if you want to.
And nobody's mad at J-Lo because she's always been just flawless. I love
think
J-Lo.
so?
Yeah, man. She started the whole fucking booty game, and hers is natural. And now all these bitches walking around with implants in their ass and shit. Come on, man.
The implant stuff's not great.
No.
All right. Another one.
Benifer. Ugh. All right.
Diamond ring earns Guinness World Record for 24,679 diamonds built into a flower.
I'd rock that shit.
That's a ring?
That is a ring.
How would you wear that?
Oh, you would? You'd rock it?
If it was
A $1 million diamond ring, you'd rock it? That's a surprise.
I'm like the only one. No, I'm sure anybody would. That's amazing. That's awesome.
So how
dude.
many carats is it? Does it
How
say?
much is it? I bet it's like the price of like a small country.
The ring weighs 12 ounces and is valued at $95,243.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, those are small diamonds.
Are tiny, tiny diamonds then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
really small.
You probably could get that ring if you really wanted it.
That's funny shit. Yeah. I'd love it.
In other news, Elon is being sued for backing out of the $44 billion Twitter deal, and the internet is going crazy on him for backing out of it. They now want him to buy it. However, Twitter has not released their true bot count, and now going to court, they're legally.
Dude, he is not going to have to pay that $1 billion like fee.
I know we keep
Twitter's
hearing about
a bunch
this.
Of liars.
We know, like, if you know anything about Elon, he's what? Probably the smartest man.
He's so smart. He's the richest man in the world on paper right now.
Right.
Anyway.
So you don't think that he has a team of attorneys who have looked into all the shit, done all the shit? Like, I'm pretty sure he's safe.
His law. First of all, I don't know if he ever really intended to buy it or not. I hope.
was just
I
proving that
wanted
it was
him
a
to
big
so
fraud?
bad because, like, Twitter is just a cesspool. It sucks so bad.
Well, he's
Unless you're
proving it's
some
all
woke
bots and
fuck
shit.
that's all like, like pronouns in your bio and shit. Like, it's just not fun.
Yeah.
And they silence conservative voices. It's lame. But so him coming in there, like, he wanted to remove all that, and like he got a lot of us conservatives like, just like, oh, this could actually be a fun place now. But we knew that there was that $1 billion penalty if you backed out of the deal. Anybody that has been on Twitter for 5 minutes knows there's no way that they only have 5% of their user base as bots.
Yeah.
Your entire, like, there's so many bots on that stupid thing. But this is where it's interesting to me because if they cancel, they're suing him. So who's suing? Is Twitter suing him?
The Twitter board is.
The Twitter board is suing him.
And they're required to because as a publicly traded company, their number one requirement.
Right, the fiduciary.
Yeah.
So this is what's interesting because if they sue, they then have to fully disclose why they won't give the actual numbers of the number of bots. Here's where it gets interesting to me in this. Twitter is a publicly traded company, which means they've had to, when they filed to go public, they had to report to the SEC all of these different things. And part of them was user base so that it was legally documented how many users, percentages were certain amounts of accounts, and bots was in that. If they are caught lying about it being more than 5% bots, that means they lied to the SEC. Dude, that's criminal. That board could go to jail.
Yes. The other thing, too, is depending on how the court ruling goes, they can also mandate it that Twitter has to sell it to Elon for a significantly less price. They could cut that
Hell
by
yeah,
30%. Because the other thing, too, is Elon has not said that the funding's gone away. The funding is good until April 5th of 2023. So he's secured the funding still. So he can still go purchase it if he wants to.
Dude, I hope that happens because fuck those guys, dude.
That's funny.
Last
Elon.
Last current event, Salt Lake City yesterday or on Sunday topped out on 107 degrees, matching an all-time heat record for the area.
That's cute. I was just in hell. Satan's asshole where it was like 110 every fucking day.
So it was basically like Scottsdale here?
Yeah. I wonder, that probably means we're just going to hit more 100-degree temps because we're into July and we still have, through September usually it's pretty warm here.
Yeah. Well, thank
I'm
God,
all
dude.
for it, man.
It was cold for so long. Like, I have no problem with the heat.
I love
Matter
it.
of fact, the irony of all this is that my office is cold as fuck, dude. Like, it's so freezing. I'm wearing jeans. It's 100 degrees outside, and I have to wear pants in my office because the AC in this place won't slow the fuck down.
It is a little cold in here. We should switch offices because mine's always roasting.
I already kind of built this one out, so there's
it's
that.
yours. So I just want to present like an idea that like I think we've heard about it. You know, the whole like abortion rights going away and all that stuff.
They're not going away.
Well, Here's what I think. Here's my proposal to the world.
Okay.
I think it was somebody else's idea. I'm just stealing it, just so you know.
Fair enough.
I think that at 18, all boys should get vasectomies. And then they can be reversed when they're ready. Because you know what that's going to do? No more whoopsie babies. No more women able to trap men for child support. No more like women having to take all these ridiculous birth controls that are causing side effects and our hormones are out of whack and we're psychos. All of that shit goes away. It's like getting, circumcised, but you're an adult doing it. Just clip that little.
Circumcision is way different than.
You're right. It's probably more aggressive. I don't know because I don't have one of those things. Yeah. But I feel like that would solve a lot of the problems.
So the idea of just being responsible when you fuck
doesn't happen.
That's out the window.
Clearly, we've had years of lack of.
So right now, let's just want to make sure we're clear on this. So right now, as it stands, a woman doesn't have to have any physical modifications to her body at all. If she has sex, she can control what dick goes into her to have sex. Mm-hmm. And so there's, again, no, like...
Well, think of the benefits on a guy's part, too.
Hold on, though. So she doesn't have to do anything. She can either close her legs or require a condom or whatever. And you're saying that what a guy should do is have to go through surgery first at 18.
It's not surgery. You've been through it. They don't even put you out. They don't even put you out. It's a little numb, little snip.
How are you talking about shit that happens with the man's balls when you don't have that? This is the most fucking hypocritical shit ever, dude.
It's like getting kicked in the dick. You'll be okay.
You don't even know.
There's been years of women dealing with
if you're going to have
IUDs.
vasectomies, why can't women close their legs?
They can, so you're not going to get laid. That's what I'm saying.
I already have a fucking vasectomy. I'm good.
See? He's good.
Yeah, cancer
just
caused
sold
it. That's a little different.
No, cancer didn't cause a vasectomy. They caused the loss of your nut. Those aren't the same things. Brandon, what do you think?
He's not. He likes his job.
You think it's a good idea?
He likes his job.
No, I plead the fifth.
There's no reason. There's no. It's not even.
It would resolve so many problems. You yourself know you had 2 babies with a woman who you are no longer married with, and how many years of fucking damage and trauma
hold up.
because of that.
I was married when I had those.
Yeah,
kids.
but go ahead.
Now, how many dudes beg and complain? Well, babe, I have blue balls. My instant thought is, babe, I got a vasectomy and you don't want to have sex with me? Mm-hmm. I got a vasectomy so we don't have kids. Why are you not having me have sex? Now the emotional abuse flipped.
See?
That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing. I know dudes and don't trust dudes to not abuse that.
Well, they abuse shit anyway. Like women abuse their own ways. Like we all have our own.
But if everything was mandated for us to get a vasectomy, that's the easy go card.
Why is it that women always end up being socialists and shit like this, dude?
We're not. We've been on birth control, and we're the ones that have to deal with
this shit
abortions or whatever. Like that's not fun.
You're not forced to have.
I didn't say forced. I just said it's either you're going to have a baby that you don't want, or you have to have an abortion, or give it up for adoption.
You're forgetting the fact that like the sex first you control.
I get that. I 100%.
However,
let's talk about
smart people.
Then okay, if men,
we know people,
if men
women specifically, who have had one night stands and got pregnant, and she's like, "I'm keeping this baby." Why the fuck would you do that?
Okay, so here's the thing: if that's the case, if we're going to be forced to get fucking vasectomies, we should also be able to financially abandon the child.
Well, if you're getting a vasectomy, you wouldn't have to.
No,
here's the point.
No, because if it gets reversed, this is the thing is that it's a crazy thing to me. Most women don't see how fucking lopsided the system is anyway. Guys, women can opt out. There's a law called the Safe Haven Law. You can literally up to a year give your child up for adoption and have no legal issue with it. You don't have to financially care for the child. It's in the system. It goes somewhere else. Men do not have that. You have a baby with the kid, that fucking woman can come after you for child support until that kid's 18, and even after 18, they can have it. So it's like, when do men actually
That's why
get
you're taking back your power. Like, nah, bitch, this shit's shooting blanks for a while. It ain't happening.
Maybe that's fair then, now that I think about it, because it's like, fuck all you bitches that are trying to use the system because you got a wet pussy.
There's more women using the system for their own financial gain than guys who are like, oh yeah, let's have this baby and make it work. They're like, no, I didn't it was a one night stand, or that was a whoopsie baby. I don't want that. Like, but they have no say. Like you said, it's her body, her choice. So they're trapped. And like we know she's not our friend, but we know this woman, and she's one night stand and this guy had a baby or got pregnant. He's like, no, we're not doing this. She's like, oh, I'm doing this. And she's still trying to go after him for shit. He moved into a different state. He signed over all of his rights. She's still using the courts to go after him. That's fucked up.
That's because she's a fucking devil.
There's a lot of devil women's out there.
So then men, you don't need to fucking clip your nutsack then. Just don't fuck crazy bitches.
You don't know they're crazy. You don't know. Crazy doesn't come out for a while. It's rare you're going to fuck a chick knowing she's crazy. Like, oh, this is going to be fun. But see where this plays out.
True.
I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there as an option.
But you're saying it should have to be required.
Well,
see,
it shouldn't have to be, but it should be presented on your 18th
I think
birthday.
a smart guy would be like, dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put up with this shit.
Because it's
But here's the
reversible.
thing, though. You still have to, like, to avoid STDs, you still got to wrap it up.
Yeah, but that's not the discussion that we're talking about. Like, people aren't saying, oh, we got to do something about all the STDs. They don't give a fuck. There's pills for that and shit. We're talking about human life. Controlling when a baby can enter into your life. That's all. That's my take.
It's a hot take. Not a lot of dudes are going to like it because they're going to be like,
Some may.
No, because it's lopsided. It's a man would have to do a surgery.
It's been lopsided for a long time.
No, yeah, against men.
Well, women would disagree when it
Of
comes
course
to
they
the
would,
whole.
'cause they benefit
when it
from the
comes to the
system.
birth control thing,
They
they would
benefit
disagree.
from the system, so of course they're going to disagree because they don't want a lot of women
Like
like
women
the
have
system
to
when
take,
it benefits them. And
men
they hate
don't
it.
have a form of birth control aside from condoms. Women have to either take a pill or get an implant or Plan B or abortion. None of it falls on you physically, and those are all things that have a huge physical impact. Like when I was on the IUD, I had to get that fucking thing taken out because it was causing all kinds of issues in my body. Like same with the birth control pill. It's messing with your hormones. It's stopping you from having a natural cycle, which is a cleansing process that goes away just so that you don't get pregnant. So all of these things, I think, pile up against the women when it's like the men are on the hook for money, for a quick nut. And they're like, fuck, that nut wasn't worth it.
It would never be worth it for 18 years of that bullshit, dude.
Right. Anyway.
Now you have me all riled up. That's great.
This is what happens when we're on our deck talking, at night. We have these conversations and get worked up on events that we can't.
That's the first time I ever had that you've ever been that like forceful about something.
I'm not forceful. It's just a nice opinion, a nice option.
Hybrid for those when you turn 18, and if you graduate high school, it's government paid. You don't graduate high school, you don't get it.
Taxpayers are going to pay for this shit now?
Bro,
why not? They
taxpayers
pay
are paying for everything else.
What don't they pay for?
The CIA, the NSA, Ukraine.
Yeah, they
Raytheon.
doesn't mean they should. That's the point. Just because taxpayers are, because our government fucking sucks. And
it only costs like a few $100s to snip a guy. How much does a baby cost? Your whole fucking life. That's what it costs. So, I don't know. I think it should be a conversation that is presented to men at 18. Like, hey, by the way, all these bitches out here are conniving and they're just vindictive and they want your money.
Do you really want to like perpetuate that energy though? That like it's a defense thing and you're trying to like.
I'm just being facetious. You could present it however you want.
Well, no, like
I also think social media is going to take care of it, and there's just going to be a bunch of incels.
Yeah.
So the dudes that would be not thinking properly and having kids will be playing Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yep. I think that's more realistic than trying to get every dude snipped at 18. Is that, dude, we know this from our son. He has no game.
Right. Some don't. That's why he's like, I'm not worried about that shit.
With a chick,
but if your hormones are raging and you're ready to fuck anything that walks past and you can't help yourself, maybe you should consider that route.
You can't help it. That paints a stark picture for dudes. You got to fuck everything. It's like, no, fucking meditate.
Okay.
Work on yourself. Jerk off, whatever, but don't.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, that's all I got. That's my take.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate that take. It triggered me, but that's okay. It triggered me.
Well, I'm sorry to trigger you.
No, it's fine.
You're already snipped, so we're good. We don't have to worry about it.
I do notice that there's being snipped. There is something to that where it's like, because you still got a fully functioning cervix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do shit, man.
Right. You have all the power. Power.
No, because I can't get. I wonder if I could with one ball. I wonder if the other thing would start back up if I wanted to get it refixed.
Maybe. I was somewhere. Who was talking about it? Oh, it was Andrew Schultz who was talking about that quarterback or whatever that had 15 kids, got snipped, 2 more.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, dude, that guy's sperms are athletes. They're just jumping over that fucking highway. Like,
Another thought. You could just do a really good advertising campaign on all porn hubs about just a hot girl saying you need to get a vasectomy. That way you're more confident going out there in the world because you're not worried about having kids.
Dude, you
love
just
it.
made me laugh of like watching the government do this like COVID marketing shit. Now we're gonna have like governments go to vasectomy.gov to sign up.
it's like it's like a little commercial, and then at the end, it's like, the more you know.
Yeah. Are you 18 now and want to get some pussy but don't want to be with those scandalous bitches?
Not ready to be a father.
Go to vasectomy.gov and find out what government programs are available for you.
I'm all in, man. I'm
Dude.
for it.
I'm gonna get into politics and be the guy that champions vasectomy.gov.
Do it.
I wonder if you could buy vasectomy.gov. Is that already taken?
Or get a vasectomy.gov.
Some sort of like, even if it's spelled a little bit wrong, because nobody really knows how to spell vasectomy.
Or snipu.com.
Snipu.com. It's got to be .gov because it's government sponsored.
Okay. That'd be
That's so
hilarious. I'm all for it. I'm doing it. That's my opinion to save men, because I've seen what's happened to you, what's happened to other guys that I know. It's like, man, these bitches are liars. So many women are like, oh yeah, I'm on birth control, and then they're fucking pregnant. It's like, oh, I thought you were on birth control.
Then that means the dude is stupid.
Well, when you're in the heat of it, you don't give a shit what.
I know it's
don't care.
not like it's not like a guaranteed pregnancy too. Like you can
Right.
have unprotected sex and not get a girl pregnant.
Totally.
Because let's just cut this all back to the brass tacks here.
Cut it.
Unprotected sex feels way better.
Way. That's why nobody wants to use condoms. It just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, you can't feel the drippity drip drip down the balls from the window to the walls. Like you just don't feel it.
You can't buy the .gov, but the .com, .co, .net, .info, .org are available.
.info.
Forget a vasectomy?
Yeah.
.info would be good.
.info. Oh my gosh, dude, that's hilarious.
Anyway,
I wonder if it'll still be available by the time this airs.
somebody's going to buy that shit up.
I'll fucking buy it up, dude. Dude, that would be the funniest place to put like a comedy splash page. Like, come see my dates. Go to getavasectomy.com. I'm going to be in Chandler, Arizona on July 17th. Go to getavasectomy.gov or .com for tickets.
All right.
There it is.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Well, the crossover event I feel was decent. A little heated. I don't like being that
By
heated with
you.
you because I was triggered. Because as you can tell, shit with kids and women and money
I agree.
is a scab that I've never been able to let heal. It's
That
got
whole
scar
idea
tissue
was
under
to-
that scab, under
to
that
give-
scar tissue.
Yeah. The whole idea is to give men their power. They have control.
They have control anyway. They just want to fuck is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They could say like, I'm not going to fuck you. Which ironically is what gets a woman turned on more. Well, you don't want to, like when a powerful alpha dude withholds that way, it drives them crazy.
And then they pursue even harder. And
I
then at
know.
some point, that dude's going to cave. He's like, fuck, I can only hold the blue ball so long.
Cable over her tits.
Exactly. Anyway.
Something,
There it is.
Something to think about, friends. All right. We good?
Thanks for
Is that
having
it?
me. Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Go, she needs more followers on her fitness page. Amie Prescott Fitness at Instagram.
Thanks, babe.
You do. You're working on building that stuff. You have
I am.
You're a studio
It
owner
was
now.
just a very random way to end the show.
You
so
have
thanks for
your
that.
own studio.
I
Let's
do.
fill it up.
I'm a studio owner, motherfuckers.
I know. That's an even better way to end it. Anyway, thanks everybody.